Indeed.
Hello, one and all, and welcome back to more D&D. A recap thus far. You have finally arrived at your destination, well, your midpoint destination, I guess you could say. Took you maybe a day or so longer than you anticipated, but it's given you enough time to get there just ahead of the ship's crew, with Captain Ivan and everyone else. You arrived amid the heightened celebrations of a annual festival where the orcs of the city take part in feats of strength and so on. To prove their worth, they dive into the sea and attempt to wrest a tooth from a shark. This is, as I said, the display of strength that the orcs go through, and they use almost like a currency, not to buy and sell, but to equate to a person's stature. So the more teeth and things you have acquired, the braver you are seen to have been because you have successfully completed these dives and thus won more teeth. You also started taking part in some of the more joyous revels as the number of dives wound down and the light faded. These celebrations really started to kick off in more detail. Styx indeed challenging an orc to some wrestling, which he won very convincingly, as well as Arwen, Neo, and Clary managing to egg on and increase the betting somewhat to yield slightly more in their favour, having egged a number of people to bet against them and bet on the winning horse, as it were.
Yeah.
And that was where we ended the session. You did also visit, Clary wanted to visit a library, and you discovered a fair bit about the running and the setup of Kavran and how the different societies and different races interact with one another. But unfortunately weren't able to discover a huge amount of the past history that Clary was looking for. And that is where we begin, with you just after you have had this successful victory, Styx, celebrating your winnings and your victory. Was where we left off. You have the option to keep going. There are definitely, having beaten one orc, there would definitely be more who would be up for a challenge. Any of you can take part, or you can come up with some different challenges. As you've been taking part, it seems there's kind of a no holds barred. You can challenge someone to anything, but they're under no obligation to also accept your challenge. It doesn't seem like many challenges get declined, as that would potentially lower, if you were seen to be backing down, but there are various things. Wrestling is a very common one because it's a fairly basic feat of strength. Full contact, like Styx got involved in, but also arm wrestling and things, knife throwing, many different things going on. If you wanted to invent a challenge for someone, you could potentially find someone who would take it up.
Well, if I remember correctly, I have beer all over myself.
Yes, you did attempt to, in your jubilation, quaff a large quantity of strong orcish ale, perhaps slightly overzealously, and poured the majority of it down your front. And there are indeed, as you've seen, many of these food stalls and drink stalls about, scattered all over the place. And although they were doing a reasonable trade before, they seem pretty solidly attended now. Whereas before, maybe during the day, it was sort of they'd have minutes here and there where they weren't being attended, they had no clientele or anything like that. Whereas now it seems like they've upped the people, and there are people solidly queuing for drinks and meats and various libations.
What time of you said it was early evening last week.
Yeah, so the evening is is kicking off. I would say probably by now the evening is in full swing. So it's probably sort of 9:30, 10ish, something like that. You are, of course, aware of the difficulties that the city is perhaps dealing with. You have managed to ascertain that their orchards, their tree farms, I believe the word I was looking for that I couldn't remember last week was nursery. I believe a farm of baby trees is technically called a nursery. So yes, their nurseries and things are under threat, and they've had to, you recently learned, abandon them because of something that was killing people within. And you had briefly discussed with the elder of the city, Garth, about dealing with it. And he had said he would give you more information, I believe, in the morning.
Alright. So, I would like to... I think I did pretty well at wrestling. I'll see if anyone wants to give it another go.
Yeah, you having successfully defeated an orc,
see if we can,
the general crowd sort of looked down on you, Sticks, which, while you're a reasonably big guy for... you're still a half-elf, so you'll still have that more lean build. So they sort of look, as opposed to like the more physically imposing stature of an orc. So they all sort of look down on you in a slightly judging way. They're generally a little bit taller and a little bit broader, so they all are quite keen to take up the challenge, having seen you best at an orc before. So you could definitely find any number of other challenges if you wanted to.
Boom. Someone bring it. Someone goddamn bring it. I'll take anyone he is.
Yeah, perhaps almost after your let's say after your spectacular drinking display, what a larger orc steps forwards and sort of claps you across the shoulders, and in a little bit sort of broken comment says, "Ha! You beat him. He was weak. You shall not beat me. If you do, well,
lovely.
It will be a fine contest."
Oh no, I thought he was.
And he's sort of got a big horn in one hand, like a big drinking horn. He just like tosses it back. And he's like, "Ha! Tokagrami of the sea."
How many teeth does he have around his
He's got
neck,
like
guy?
a decent number, like 7 or 8 or something like that.
Okay.
And indeed, he's got like a bandage like wrapped around like the top of his bicep, but you can see it's just bleeding through a little bit of blood. So he's clearly been involved today and suffered an injury, but not a grievous one.
Yeah. Okay.
Good, he wouldn't have got bitten.
I'm gonna look at him,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna pull out the small sort of pouch of basilisk scales and show them to him, and I'm gonna say, "Look, where you're from, you guys have teeth. Where I'm from, we have these. These are scales of a mighty beast that can turn things to stone, just their eyes. See these scales? This is how many of them I've killed. This is how respectful I am. How about we make a trade? I beat you, I take one of your teeth. You beat me, you get all of these."
At this,
They're pretty good for trade too.
His face immediately sours, and he just scowls at you and like clutches his necklace. He's like, "You have no honor if you would offer to trade this, if you would gamble it." And he turns and he spits at your feet and walks away.
Well, that was worth a try. I thought I could be, thought I could maybe, he's like a currency. I thought maybe I could sneak him. Anyone else?
Yeah, currency was, that's probably my mistake. Currency is the wrong word to use. It's more of a,
That's fair.
it's not quite currency. It's, I
well,
can't think of the
maybe
word.
it's got-
Sorry?
But clearly he's just a wuss.
Yeah,
very
most
right.
people seem not to have, let's say, potentially noticed everything that you are that has transpired. So most people haven't picked up on the attempted transaction and would still be willing to wrestle with you or take up your challenge.
All right. Anyway, I will take offers from anyone. I'm excited to see if I can beat someone.
Okay. Yeah, there are. As I say, I think several more groups have broken off, and these challenges are going backwards and forwards, so you can pick up another challenge fairly easily. How are people? Are you placing money on this one as well?
Yeah.
So how are you going to attempt to do the same and try and sort of sway the crowd almost against Styx?
I'm gonna say yes, because just do the same as last time. It's the easiest thing to do.
Okay. So who did we have last time? I think two of you last time were attempting to sway the crowd, and one of you was following along, sort of placing bets in their wake, sort of benefiting from their persuasion. So who would like to, which two would like to do that?
I have pretty good persuasion.
I think Clary has awful persuasion. -1.
I have to take that one. And then that one.
Okay. Okay. So
No, you have 2.
Oh,
2 plus
persuasion.
2.
I thought you had -1.
No, you're a rogue, so you got skills for days.
It's not bad. Decent.
okay.
Oh no, I have 0 persuasion.
Oh.
Oh,
I think last time we had Neo and Clary being the persuasive duo.
Yeah.
Clary helping Neo out as he's the more persuasive one amongst you.
Yeah.
And Arwen was going around placing bets. But why don't you roll with advantage for Neo's help, Clary, and we'll see how many people you can entice.
That's right. 18.
Ooh, that is a Okay. So you have this first round has really piqued the interest of people, and you manage to get. You've drawn quite the crowd to this Styx, and have managed to get 19 people to bet against you as a group.
Nice.
So let me see. As a group, how much are they going to put up? You get a range of bets and think you'll collect something in the region of 20 gold should you win.
Not bad. Not bad.
So as this is going
Not
on,
bad at all.
Styx is warming up, staying limber, wiping off the alcohol, getting ready.
Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
And I mean, that is quite something. Styx,
I'm staying limber.
Yeah, indeed, that is one hell of a head action you've got going on there. Is the one hell of a head bob. Your opponent, who initially looked quite confident, has seen this display across the sandy ring before him, and you just notice there's a sudden air of doubt behind the eyes, almost questioning what on earth has he got himself into with this mad.
Yeah, I'd like to know what I'm doing. I am like eyes open, staring into his soul, effectively.
It's like anyone can be a challenge, but there's a challenge and then there's crazy. My word. But yeah, you step up, you face each other. What were we rolling last time? Was it straight strength? I think it was just straight strength checks, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was either strength
Yeah.
athletics.
Yeah, it was straight strength.
Straight strength.
So you two
Bring it.
crash. An orc stands between you with an arm out. We count down. You get the impression it's 3, 2, 1, and then they shout "go." They lift an arm, and the two of you charge together, arms like trying to grapple around, trying to throw the other one off, pushing and shoving, trying to keep your balance. You get a 13 on your first check. That's a natural 19, I'm afraid. This orc you definitely feel is stronger, or at least has better technique. The first one, you were able to get low using your slightly shorter stature to get under him and sort of lever him up, whereas this guy's got down lower much sooner, and you feel yourself going head to head, shoulder to shoulder, and he just starts shoving you back a little bit. Roll again.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! Shit. I'm not doing well here. Oh, never mind. I'm doing well.
Yeah, he rolls a natural 1. Both ends of the spectrum. After the initial shock, you feel yourself push back. You dig your heels into the sand and halt the motion, halt the momentum, and start trying to drive back. That's 1 win apiece.
Oh shit! What are these rolls, man? What are these rolls?
Oh man. Although you halt him for a moment, you feel him dig a little deeper. He gets his arms around you and almost like on the back of your belt starts lifting, almost like pulling your feet out the sand as you start to lose your grip and feel yourself sliding backwards. There's a big cheer from the crowd as it goes on and starts looking like he's on the cusp of victory. One of your feet getting right to the edge of the line in this ring.
Uh,
You're down 2-1. Roll your next
the
one.
real no. No! What are you doing, man?
Although he rolls a 7 on the dice with his bonus, that does take him above an 8. And
Bitch!
you just think you've got him. And you're just starting to push when all of a sudden you realise you've got no grip and he has indeed grabbed you by the belt and lifts your feet off the ground and just dumps you out of the ring.
Mother. That was a 9, a 7, a 5, and a 4. On my part, thanks, game. Thanks a bunch.
Yeah, as he dumps you on the ground, turns around, arms up, celebrating, posturing to the crowd. He gets quickly embraced by a couple of people, and before he walks off, he does offer you a hand to help you up, and gives you a smile and says, beginner's luck, I think.
No, I think what it was is I limbered up too hard. I was too noodle-like. Need to do some stretches instead next time. I think I focused too much on the shoulders and neck on not much of anything.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, having placed your bets, you guys as a group are down 20 gold off this.
Well, that's great.
So you can probably all knock off 5 silver.
Or do we have the group fund? Should we take it?
Yes, we do. We do have the group fund, which is currently at 245 GP. So, and 12 silver pieces. So, what do I just knock off 20 gold?
Yeah.
From the group.
A small crowd sort of swarms Arwen, Clayton's having to quickly dish out gold to keep some drunken jubilation.
2,225.
There's a fair few comments you pick up from the little bit of common that they are speaking that are a little bit disparaging of Styx's performance, and it's all sort of generally along the lines of, well, he's not an orc, so he's not that strong. He's a bit weak and weedy and so on.
Whatever.
It's a bit like typical human. They don't seem to be able to tell the difference potentially in this light between human and half elf.
You know what?
Someone wants to fight someone?
Oh, let's go. Let's goddamn go.
Yeah. If you want, you can react to like some of this sort of as. I mean, what do you say?
You want to go, bro?
Literally. Arwen goes full Cad. Sort of looks around a little bit like and sees this very visibly angry and reasonably physically, although you're not necessarily the tallest, you're not a gnome or anything like that. You have a reasonable stature and height, but sort of looks around and is sort of looking at you as you want to challenge me? You haven't got a hope.
How rude.
Even your friend was rubbish.
We'll just walk over. Excuse me. I think you might be surprised what you might find in this lady here. I'm going to pat Arwen on the shoulders and give her guidance.
Thank you very much.
You can add 1d4 to an ability check of your choice within the next minute.
He sort of doesn't seem to have taken this challenge seriously and almost turns to leave.
Whoa, sir.
Excuse me.
So turns back like, what? You weren't serious, were you?
Yes. Fight me.
Kind of looks around. It's like, well, you can't back out of this now. He's gone full dude mode. It's like, well, I've called out a woman in front of all my friends. Now what? His friends, sort of like back up and they start forming a ring, and someone, draws another circle in the sand. Quickly, bets start being placed. Things. Are you guys? I mean, you don't have to bet on Arwen if you don't want to. You can.
I will bet on Arwen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Might be a
will.
mistake.
It's fine. We have got it.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to do the same again, roll a persuasion check with advantage, just to.
Sorry,
see.
Cherry. I get this time.
Oh.
There we goddamn go.
23.
7. Would you like to roll as well? Oosh. Oosh.
Because of the nature of this, and this guy's friends are all like sort of gearing him up, slapping him on the back, like, so on. So you do get quite the opposition. Arwen being smaller and a woman.
How rude.
You do get quite the opposition. And so you get 9, 5, 1, 10. 10, okay. That's 20, 30, 35 gold this one goes up to.
Ooh, my word. Alright.
Alright,
No
so
pressure,
I think-
Owen.
Oh no. Come on then, let me have it.
No goddamn pressure
Just
at all.
Yeah, just make a perception check for me.
Who?
Anyone that wants
Ooh.
to.
Yeah, I'll make a quick old buckaroo. Oh, there we go.
In response to all this that is going on, Neo, who's been a little bit involved and seems to be getting into the spirit of things, you see his brow furrow quite intently, and you just realise he's just sort of twisting a wrist and flicking his hands around a little bit, like sort of low at his waist. Just seems to be doing a little something. And as you watch, this guy sort of like shakes his head almost, as if he's, like there's like a fly or something around it. Just gives his head a little shake and like he's trying to like throw off a little daze, and you just see the corner of Neo's mouth just curl in a slight smile. Roll your first as you step up.
What has Neo done?
3, you get the countdown. The two of you come together. Make your first strength check.
Oh, yes.
It's good.
Oh no.
The two of you come together and you hold your own. But this is a big orc, and he does. Oh wait, hang on, I forgot the thing that I did. I forgot the thing that I literally just said Neo did. That's a 3. So yeah, you do just hold your own, and the two of you, neither of you manages to make any ground at all. It's a draw.
Oh,
Nice.
gunny.
You have got
What?
guidance. So yeah, the two of you sort of tussling backwards and forward, neither of you giving an inch. Roll again.
Oh Jesus.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no.
this initial confidence at holding your own just seems to get the better of you, and you almost stumble, being driven, not like being driven almost to one knee into the ground, as he gets this overbearing weight on top of you. That is 1-0 to the orc.
Oh no! Yes. You have a D4 to add if you would like
I
to.
think I'm gonna do that. Oh. Oh well.
Never mind. I tried.
Well, overbuoyed by his confidence, and potentially trying to capitalise on what he sees as his big advantage, he slips in the sand as well. You know how sand can sometimes be when it sort of piles up and dries, it can be very loose, but sometimes when it's damp, you can get a grip. He puts his foot down in a bit that he maybe thought was a bit more grippy, and you see this big, he kicks out a big lump of sand. He gets a -1.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't need to use my.
ouch.
Oh,
And you're back to your feet.
that's 1-1.
Yeah, back to your feet, head to head, 1-1.
Oh! Very
Oh, an
nice.
unnatural 20. It's his overconfidence is his weakness, and your faith in your friends is yours.
Bro.
You can pick out their voices in the crowd cheering you the hardest, buoying you on, and you manage to, as you both slipped one after another, and you being the more nimble one, get back to your feet and start driving home this advantage. You're currently up 2-1.
Ooh. This. Maybe. I hope so.
He recovers, not as quickly as you, but he does recover, and the two of you are locked head to head, neither of you giving ground.
Thank God.
It's 2-2.
Oh wait. Oh. Damn it. Okay.
Both of you are sweating and straining. Arwen trying to give it everything she's got.
8.
Ah, shit.
It's not enough.
Can I kick him? Can I do an extra little?
I mean, it's no hold barred. This is kind of everything that's going on. Is pushing, shoving, kicking, trying to grab. It's not enough, and he does.
What if I whip a knife out?
That would
That would be a
probably go badly.
Why?
It's kind of a joshing honourable feat of strength. I mean, you can if you want.
No.
Oh dear. Oh, no.
I really want to. Yeah, I do.
You do.
Oh,
So
God.
as you take your hand off and you go for your belt, is when it's almost like you realise you're going to lose a split second before you do, and that opening
I
is
don't
what
kill him though.
is what hastens your defeat, and he pushes you out of the ring, and you stumble back and land at the feet of your friends, and he turns around, celebrating with his back to you. You start to draw this knife. Everyone, I'm going to give you one action. You see Arwen go for this knife.
Oh god. I'm going to. Oh, idea. Idea.
Chloe, you also have.
Can I cast heat metal on the dagger that she's holding?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that she stops it.
You see Arwen doing this, and you quickly, cast heat metal. I believe that's a Constitution save.
Saving throw. Yes. Obviously, yeah, have to level 2. You don't take that damage. You just have to make a con save, DC 15, or drop the ball. You drop it.
Is that? Oh no, it's there. Oh no.
That's only.
Oh.
To be fair, you only have to. I think you only have to make the Constitution save if you're trying to hold on to it. So for example,
Yeah.
you feel the dagger glow hot in your hand, and it starts burning your hand
Oh,
rapidly,
I'll drop that.
and so you just drop it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
I'm not quite sure about heat metal, but I
Uh,
think it's a con save.
creature is wearing the object and takes the damage from it. The creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, or drop the object if it can. If it doesn't drop the object, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn. So, I guess.
You can voluntarily drop the object, but your hand.
Damage?
Yeah.
She voluntarily dropped it, so she doesn't take the damage. There we go.
Yes, I don't want a maimed hand.
I think Neo will almost step over and in front of you in the guise of offering you a hand, but also just frown.
I'll just be like, oh man, you don't pull daggers in Orktown, okay? You don't pull a knife on someone in Orktown, you don't pull a battle axe, and shit goes downhill from there, Arwen. I say in very, very hushed tones. Please don't get us killed. I could just imagine that, JJ, just like, alright, roll initiative against the 100 orcs around you if they try and arrest you guys. I'm like, oh dear. Well, it was fun. See you in Kavran Season 2.
Kavran Season 2, Prison Boogaloo. So
Well.
Clary, you've been a little bit quiet. Is there anything you would like to be up to while this is all going on?
No, I'm good. I was gonna use Mage Hand, but you dealt with.
Also with Mage Hand you can't.
But you can hold objects.
You can hold
You
objects,
could
but you
pick
can't
it up.
one who's holding them.
You haven't grabbed it yet. Right? Knife before she grabbed it.
That's clever.
And yeah,
Never mind.
very happy that the walks out there.
Huh? That is, yeah. It's good to be happy.
Okay. Well, with that loss, you do find yourself with another queue of people lining up to take your money. You find yourself down another. I think it was a 35 gold.
Harry will give it a go.
Clary's going to step up.
Harry will give it a go. She might as well.
Okay.
Wait, what is your strength? It's +1. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to be offensive here, but Styx is not going to put any money on this fight.
You don't have
know what,
to
no,
challenge them to wrestling.
But-
There are other competitions you can. You have seen going on. There's people, for example, there's some archery going on. I have said this. There is not just wrestling going on. There is also knife throwing and things like that. So any skills you want to try and use, as long as it forms some form of a physical challenge, you can. And they generally, it seems like they like weapon-based, sort of knife throwing, that sort of stuff.
Nice. That's something with Clary would be good.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you decide, having lost an amount of money to this crowd and Arwen, taking a bold course of action. you decide that you're going to head off to find a different group, and you find a little setup. Unlike the wrestling, which seems to be pretty sort of ad hoc, taking place wherever and whenever, they just sort of draw lines in the dirt. You find a more sustained setup where they've got a few posts set in the ground, sort of big 1 foot diameter trunks that have been cut off. And you can see there's a few people gathered around, and a couple of orcs taking turns throwing at one of the posts, but there's a number of them that are left abandoned. It doesn't seem like it's the most popular confrontation at the moment, but throwing weapon skills are fairly common. And indeed, rather than knives, you see that the orcs favour hand axes to throw. But if you want to throw knives, then that's absolutely fine as well.
Yeah, Curry will go with knives.
Okay. So you look around, and there is one fairly sort of lean, quite young looking orc. He's got an array of sort of 4 or 5 axes on him. You can see he's got sort of 2 across his chest, and then 2 on his waistband behind him. You can see the handles sticking out where they're in easy reach, and he's got sort of one that he's throwing quite deftly up and down and sort of spinning it to catch it by the handle each time, and sort of then flick it out the back of his hand and so on. They look up as you approach, and sort of smile over you. It's like, care for a challenge?
Yeah. Why not? Yeah. But this could only go well.
Are you the sort of people that like to make it interesting? And he pulls out a little bag of coins and just sort of starts like picking a couple up and dropping them back into the little pouch.
Yes, Arwen's just like, yes.
Okay. Oh, very keen. Excellent. How rich is your blood feeling? And he sort of takes out a little stack of usually 5 gold coins and sort of balances it on the back of the one hand axe in his hand.
What do you think I am? Poor?
Oh,
Oh!
confident. So matches it with another 5.
Yeah, okay. If you think you're gonna lose.
Make a persuasion check for me. My connection has been interrupted. Let's hope that doesn't last. Yes, this is not working. I'm not getting the rolls.
I got 16, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, you might just have to... Oh, no, it's finally come through. Yeah, he looks over and quite confident as well. Is that the way you think about it? And then just like basically grabs the rest of the pouch and just dunks it on. And then just like sort of flicks the whole thing in your direction for you to catch.
Do I need to make a dex?
Nah, it's fine. It's just sort of like neatly it sort of lands and you can like cradle it in. And you're able to count out 26.
Dropped it right.
You're able to count out that he's got 26 gold pieces, 15 silver pieces, and 5 copper pieces.
Cool. Nice.
Oh, I should have a notebook somewhere. I just realised I'm missing. Yeah. So who is going to be my challenger?
That would be me.
Yeah, I mean, he briefly explains how it works. You've got a choice of, you can pick your own throwing weapon: axe, knife, javelin, spear. Doesn't really matter. And it's a best of 3. And you can throw. Yeah, so it's a best of 3. And you go to progressive targets.
Okay.
So you've got one at 15, one at 20, and one at 25.
But that's what I need to roll.
No, that's the distance in feet.
Yeah, so you need to roll above, like between 15 to 20 is 1.
Okay.
So the
20 to
distance in
25.
feet is 15, 20, and 25. And so the roll to hit will differ based on the distance.
I see. Okay.
He holds out his hand axe to you and says, "Blade or shaft?"
Wait.
What?
Excuse me?
He just says, "Blade or shaft?"
I don't think this is the kind of knife throwing we think it is, guys.
Is this like heads or tail?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh. Right.
Blade.
Okay. He tosses the axe just softly in the air, and it rotates over and over and over, and lands on the ground with a thunk. Odds or evens?
Evens.
Evens, with the blade indeed pointing in your on the side where you are, pointing towards you, and the shaft pointing back towards him. Alright, you will get the choice, first or second.
Second.
Okay. He steps up. He rolls a natural 20, and you see he draws this. It's in one motion at the first target. He draws this axe off his belt and throws it spinning underhand, and you just hear it whistle through the air, and then there's a resounding thunk as it cleaves the bullseye on this target in half and sinks in there solidly.
What do I roll?
So you roll a straight knife throw as if you were making an attack roll with your knife.
Okay. Is dagger okay?
Yes.
That's...
Yeah, dagger.
Same thing.
23. So, unfortunately, due to his natural 20, he effectively carves out the center of the target, and so you throw, even though you throw a really nice dagger throw, it comes into rest just beside his hatchet, and because of the, hatchet's got a sort of a widening blade, this thing is sunk in, which is effectively denying you the perfect bullseye. It's a really good throw, and you're really pleased with the throw. But because he went first, he has effectively denied you the bullseye on this one, and so he takes round 1.
Can I cast Druidcraft and make like a little bit of wind, like pretend wind, so that he thinks he needs to throw it like that way, so the wind can take it, but then it does actually.
Oh, that's kind
So
of
you want to try. So you want him to like overcompensate.
Yeah, like he's gonna aim that way,
Yeah.
so the wind can take it.
Yeah, he's going to try and compensate for the wind.
Yeah.
Does Druidcraft actually make wind?
No, I don't think so.
I'm pretty
A sensory
doesn't it?
effect.
Sensory effect. So you make flower blossom, seed pod open, leaf, bud bloom, create an instantaneous harmless sensory effect such as falling leaves, a puff of wind, the sound of a small animal, or the faint odor of a skunk. The effect in a 5-foot cube. You instantly light out or snuff a candle. So even if you threw it that way, it wouldn't it's 5 feet of wind.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No worries. Yeah, you can do that. What are the components to that?
What do you mean?
Verbal, somatic, and material.
Yeah.
So that's verbal, and so you've got to speak and make hand motions or what have you. So just roll a sleight of hand check to see how well you.
Oh no!
You know when people throw grass in the air
Mm.
and they go, "Oh, the wind."
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. He looks down at you, or looks over at you, and goes, sort of casts around and picks up a little bit of dirt off the ground and does the same thing. And he's like, yes, it has. The breeze has picked up. Having gone first last time, Chloe, you can go first this time.
oh, alright. Okay. No
This
pressure.
one is out to 20 feet.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, thank you.
Legerto sheep. 60.
25.
Oh! Darn!
Yeah.
Darn on a skill.
So Chloe is nothing if not consistent at the moment. And again, you draw your dagger back and you take your time to aim, and your arm whips through the air, snap at your wrist, you send it spinning end over end, and for one brief moment you think it's going to connect handle first, but it just completes that last rotation and buries itself, perfectly balanced, just quivering very slightly, the tip of the dagger, center bullseye. He gives you almost like an appreciative nod as one competitor to another. Seems to appreciate the fine throw and seems to respect it. Steps up, takes his mark. He's left his original hatchet in the first post, and so this one he draws with the other hand. And he goes and he does the same motion and flicks it underhand. But it seems like this is his weaker hand, and almost buoyed by his first round confidence, he's taken his eye off the prize a little bit. And this throw isn't anything like as good as the first one. It still just hits the target, but it's well below the center of the bullseye. But it does just sink into the target. And his first throw and both of your throws are solid connections and have definitely sunk home. You can tell from the sound they made. This makes a slightly more muted sound, and you think that if something were to knock it, that hatchet might fall out very easily. So round 2, strongly in Clary's favour. Round 3, you can. How many daggers has Clary got? Is she collecting her dagger each time, or has she got more than one to throw?
She's just got the one, so I guess she's.
Yeah. Okay. So You
I
go.
thought-
You go and collect your dagger again. Having to wrench it out of this post from where it's solidly connected. And he's waiting for you to get out of the range, tossing one hand to hand. And this one is out at 25 feet, which I believe is beyond the regular range of both a dagger and a hand axe. So both of these will be made at disadvantage.
What if I do the wind thing again? Can it be a double disadvantage for him?
No, there is no such thing as double disadvantage. You could potentially impose a penalty. If you try the same thing, I will give him advantage to figure out what you're up to. But if you wanted to try something different,
No, it's fine.
well, maybe not figure out what you're up to, but advantage to perceive things as they are rather than as you're trying to portray them to be.
Nah, it's fine. He's gonna see right through me.
Well, sticks. You've got a few seconds before these throws happen. If there's anything you wanted to do.
Whoa. See, the thing is, I'm sure, Claire, we didn't put money on this, did we?
Yeah.
Arwen did.
Oh, Arwen did, right? Okay.
Yeah. I think I said it was.
Oh, then that's coming from. That's not coming from Rio Fund.
This might be far-fetched, but if someone were to come and stand near the man and, like, distract him for a second, can I use my sneak attack to add on to my roll?
Because what?
No, because sneak attack
It sounded
pertains to damage, not your roll to hit.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me just consult my big list of things.
Because I will tell you now, you tried this before, but because it's a roll to hit, Bless will work on this, Ben, whereas Guidance, because you can add Bless to attack rolls.
Yeah, do I need to be touching someone to? No, it's just with up to creatures within range. Okay. Then I'm going to cast Bless on Clary and Arwen.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Ruined.
because I mean, it's only 3 creatures. I might as well. And I don't know what shit you're going to get up to. I've seen if we lose this, what's going to prevent you pulling out your own bloody dagger? Although in which case I shouldn't give you blessed, but I'm going to do it anyway. There you go. You're blessed. Be blessed by the harvest god. Go.
Okay.
So I had a D4.
Well, he went first in the first round. You went first in the second round, so and you see he takes a little bit more time with this. The extra distance giving him a slight pause, you notice. So rather than drawing this straight from the belt, he takes one of the ones off his chest and passes it hand to hand before holding it and lining up his throw. And this one seems to match the his second throw. Although it's a little bit more measured, the extra distance, and you see it just waves slightly off center this time. It's good height, but it lands and sort of splits out a little bit of the wood, just leading left on the target, giving you sort of a good sort of 4 inches between blade and bullseye to sneak the victory in Clary.
Oh, I'm trying to shoot on.
Oh!
It's payday, boys.
Yes.
So at disadvantage, Clary rolls a natural 20.
Oh.
What a roll! And this is where the moment, if you were watching this in, like in a TV show or in a film or something like that, where you'd see the close zoom in, the concentration on Clary's face as this dagger, you'd see the dagger whip past the camera, and then it would rotate, and you just follow it as it turns in slow motion before you get those quick frames at the end where it speeds up and slams into the target. Buried almost to the hilt, this throw, deep into the wood.
So I was thinking of it more like an anime where she sort of sits down and goes, "Friendship will get me through. This dagger will be my might." Spins around, all the freaking effects going and everything. Stars, the moon. Somehow she's in space for a brief second. Looses the thing. It flies through the thing. A gleaming thing of light. Everyone's like, "Ah, ah."
Yeah, everyone's got time to pull 4 different reactions in the half
Yeah.
second it's in the air.
Even Arlo and Hugo, they're like, "Ah." And it's like,
Yeah.
"Ding." And in reality, it's just a couple of feet away. You just throw this thing. It's like, "Go, please."
Yeah, you do. I mean, what can be more of a perfect bullseye than natural 20 on a disadvantage? Absolutely nailed. He
Oof.
kind of, in reaction, is almost shocked at this. You get from their demeanor and their manner, you get the impression that they're not used to losing contests like this, and perhaps they're one of the reasons why there's so few people around, that their proficiency puts off other challenges maybe. But nevertheless, you have bested them. And you do indeed win your gold.
Yay! Should we put it in the group?
Oh, I'm going to donate it to the group fund.
Well, wait, how much was it?
Well, I can't remember those on the fly, so I definitely remember them.
Mm-hmm.
But it was something like 26 gold, 15 silver, and 5 copper.
But there's gold in the big thing.
Yeah, so remind me
The
of
dregs.
5 copper and I didn't how much silver.
15 silver.
15 silver and 5 copper. And so we're now on 28 silver, 5 copper, and 225 gold.
Nice.
Congratulations, guys. We're making it.
Excellent. Well, you enjoy a pleasant evening. You can, we'll say for the sake of brevity, you can take on more challenges if you wish, with some wins and some losses and so on. So yeah, averages out. You can also enjoy all the all the food and drinks of this seems feast-like quantities are free for the evening, so you don't have to pay for any of them. So you can consume as much as you like and get as hammered as you like. If anyone is drinking heavily, make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, I think being around all these big burly orcs and stuff is going to get to Styx's head, and he's definitely going to drink at least a little. Damn it.
Okay. Neo also enjoys, gets in on the celebrations, and you all, do okay. It was only a 10, so you're all doing okay for the sort of the majority of the evening, and generally feel like you'll be all right. Won't be too hungover in the morning. And so and you gain an amount of renown throughout the city, being the only non-orcs in the place. So you get a few people who just come over just to talk to you, a few people come over specifically to challenge you, a few people then come over to watch, and so on. And so you have quite an enjoyable evening, a little bit in the spotlight, and so on. You notice as you're sort of going around, the festivities get sort of wilder and wilder, people get drunker and drunker, and the celebrations and the cavorting gets more and more intense. You start seeing people, you see a couple of people passed out, a few people, sort of coupling up, making off to find various places, some not quite bothering as much to conceal themselves. But yeah. And eventually you find somewhere to pass the night and get a few hours kip until morning. You can all take a long rest, regain any spells you've used, any hit points you've lost, if any.
Yeah. Put my spells back. Don't think I lost any HP. Channel Divinity left. Need a ration. You also not use these spells. So, yes. You've more.
Yeah, so you all wake up in the cold light of day. A little the worse of the wear, but generally not too bad. You all consumed reasonably large quantities of food to stave off the worst of any hangover that you were feeling, and so you feel like a little bit of breakfast and a little bit of just a few hours sort of awake will have you feeling right out of rain and back to normal. You wake up from the sheltered spot that you eventually decided to sort of camp in, reasonably close to the beach, away from the main cluster of houses where you had a little bit of quiet as these celebrations went on late into the night. And it's there you're able to pick yourselves up and get on with your day. There are a few scant orcs milling about. A number of them did also, it seems, spend the night under the stars. Several are still asleep, but the majority, it seems, have made their way home either before or after you guys did. And so, while there's a few about, there's not many. You make your way through the center of sort of along this long waterfront that they've got, through these through along the boards around these bays, and you eventually spot Garth. It is standing there. He's got a sort of a more sort of priestly looking attire, but even then it's very casual. You can see he's got this long sleeveless robe on with a hood back, and it's just, he's standing about sort of up to his mid-thigh in the water, and you can just see this robe is sort of drifting out behind him, floating on the top of the water, and he's just watching the sunrise. There's quite a heavy fog out to sea, so there's quite a weak sun, and there's quite a lot of cloud overhead, but you can just sort of see this faint haze glowing on the horizon as the sun slowly rises.
Beautiful. What a lovely day.
Indeed, it's a very... And the water is, compared to the commotion that was on it before, it's a very calm morning. There's a very calm atmosphere in the air.
Very nice. Head down to the the nursery then. That sounds terrible. See what commotion lies.
Yeah, you haven't actually been told where this is. I think from your conversation with him the night before, he said he'd give you more details this morning. So you could just go looking for it.
Yeah.
If you wanted, or you could speak to him and he might have more to offer you. It's up to you guys.
I feel like we should ask him.
Yeah, we should probably ask him for a bit more information on it, see if there's anything you know or anything else he might be able to tell us about it. We're with him now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you
Hello.
wander up and have a chat.
Hello, Garth. We are here to do the mission. This problem you guys be having down by the nursery or orchard or whatever it is. What can you tell us of it? Where exactly are we looking in this area? A large area.
Well, there are a number of different areas to the nursery. This is not the right accent at all. I am going French. The nursery is expansive. It is, let's say, it is divided into sections. We have the old wood, the deep wood, and we have this is where we get our strongest and most slow-grown and powerful timbers that form the core of our ships. We also have the fast-growing pines and things like that for tall and straight for masts. But it is all in a constant cycle. So there are numerous areas of saplings and so on where our new growths are taking, and yes, we have vast acres. We have encountered the main let me cut straight to it. The losses we have suffered have all been in these deep sections. These would be more akin to the natural woods that you are familiar with, where you come from, where these are where the animals and things are most at home. We plant our trees far apart, and as they grow, the space obviously in between, as you would expect, closes, and a few natural trees manage to sprout and take root from time to time, so it can be a bit more chaotic in there. That is where if you are indeed intent on doing this, that is where you should look. We have lost.
All right.
2, 3, 4 crews. So 24 people. I would not wish to add your names to the list.
Shit.
You guys have. I've been speaking to some of the people. You have made quite an impression on them, turning up at a time like this. We have not had, forgive me, but outsiders take part and join us so openly, so readily before. It was a delight to see everyone getting along.
Nothing. We were happy. Yeah. We were rather lovely evening.
I'm glad you had a good time. I wish I could have celebrated more, but this issue, it weighs on my mind. And indeed, my nephew was diving late. I was concerned for him for his first time.
Oh, damn.
But
That's fine.
my concerns were unfounded. He came through unscathed.
That's good.
He intends to prove himself to challenge even me. And at this point, sort of like you can see, shakes this sort of double-stranded necklace. He's got many, many teeth. He's a good lad. He will go far.
I'm sure he will. Sounds like a fine young lad.
He will if he can keep his ego in check for a day or so.
I have a question about this job.
Mm-hmm.
Not to make you think I'm rude or anything, but we are gathering money for you could say a charity, somewhat a fund, and we're wondering potentially how much.
About the bush, my friend. You want to pay him.
Yeah, how much would this cost? How much would this? How much would they pay us for this job?
Well, we have already. How much is 24 lives worth? You cannot put a price on this, and I am loath to send anyone else in. But if we cannot clear it, if we cannot ensure this is safe, then well, we will be at I'm at a loss of what to do. If we cannot, we are all right for the moment, but ships need repairs. Ships need building. Ships get old, they rust, they rot. And so this is not a short-term problem. If for the time being we are okay, but I think of the future, and if we let this problem go to seed, it will become bigger, and when it becomes a problem and we need our ships, we need our life on the water, we need our connection to our gods, then we will not be able to find it. So I could not. I would give everything I could to have to remain on the sea, to have my people, to keep access to my people, to remain on the sea, it is our lifeblood. We do not hunt and farm as most others do. We fish and we sail, and we do not harvest leather in the same. I understand you use a lot of. Most other races use a lot of beef, leather, and those sorts of things. We prefer the skins of sea animals. This is where life flows for us. It flows from the sea. So I will offer you whatever I can.
Okay. Well, that is all we ask, really. I think on that note, better go. See what we can do. Sort some shit out.
If you are sure you wish to undertake this, then head north out of the city, follow the coast for 2 miles, and then head inland another mile and a half. You should come to the first trees. They are not fans of the salt water, the salty earth, so that is why we've had to move it inland a ways. But
Okay,
head
cool.
in that direction, and you should find it. I mean, you can hardly miss it, but that is the easiest way to get there.
Thank you very much, Garth. We'll return to you when the job's a good one. See you in a bit.
Stay safe, my friends.
Will do.
And he goes back to staring out over the ocean.
Nice. Let's go, guys. But did anyone want to get anything in town before we head off? Anyone need any supplies?
No, I'm good.
Arrows or daggers or anything? No? Cool. Let's go kick the shit.
Okay, so you guys make your way out of town, and it doesn't take you long to cover the sort of 3-4 miles you need to where you're going, and you come to, I really hope I have everything on the right letters here, but you come to this area of forest, and indeed you do see what he was talking about. There are a large number of baby saplings and things like that you all planted in neat rows that you make your way through sort of 20 to 30 minutes before you start seeing these trees start significantly, you're heading towards these trees you can see in the distance are getting significantly bigger as you make your way in, and it's not long before you enter the forest proper, where you've got these big towering trees, branches crossing over above you. And even though the day has broadened and the sun has risen and you've got a little bit warm, walking at a pace, you suddenly you find yourselves under this canopy in this sort of perpetual half light. Very, very little sunlight is actually making its way down through the canopy, so it's almost, you feel like it's sort of late afternoon, evening time, just based on the light level, even though you know it's still currently morning at the moment. And so you enter this forest.
Oh.
So you will enter in row 6. You can decide which space you enter on.
I think probably
that is where you will
good.
begin your search. And so it will be a case of making a number of checks and things like that to successfully navigate your way and pick up the trail or tracks of whatever it is you are after.
Alright. So, Arwen, you're good at forests. Where we going in?
6A.
6A. Gotcha. Was that like to start in the corner, or was that A for Arwen?
Both.
I like it. 6A.
Okay. So this will be a bit of a skill challenge. I need to find some stats for some stuff. And so it will be, you can use whatever skills you like. You just have to justify it as to why it's useful. And it'll be a case of you will be looking in a certain direction. So the moment you're in 6A, if you wanted to look north, that would cover 5A and 5B.
Okay.
If you specify north as your direction, if you want to look east, that will cover 6B and 5B. Because they are all the squares to your east. There's no square like below, but if you were, say you were starting in 2B and you wanted to look south, then that would cover 3A, 3B and 3C, because they are all the squares to the south. It only requires one successful check to move on. But if you fail, someone else will need to do something else to allow you to be successful. So for example, Arwen, you can herald most of this, possibly, as the ranger and do tracking, but if you go in the wrong direction or you lose the trail or you can't find it, someone else will need to do something to then pick it up. And that's sort of how it will work. Also, can everyone just make me a collective group stealth check? Neo doing his best and coming up with his usual 4 on stealth.
Oh, I'm a stealthy boy.
Styx is indeed a stealthy boy. Let me just put that.
I'm gonna make it a point, now that we're like tracking something through the wilderness, I'm just gonna like quickly grab a branch and like another sort of branch of leaves and just sort of stick them out the end of my quiver of my crossbow. It's like, it blends the silhouette. I read it in a book once.
Okay. Okay, so that's 14. So that's 3 successes. Yeah, Neo just sort of clanks along in your wake. But you guys can do what you can to sort of, sort of like tie his armor down a little bit and like pad it a little bit so he's not clinking quite so badly.
Just shoving leaves in there.
So he's just a big walking bush. Okay. So, as a group, which direction would you like to head in first?
I would say
I need to write down some
sort of diagonally up, so north, east,
East.
like northeast.
Well, pick a direction, north or east, and then your check will cover everything to the north or everything to the east.
East, if everyone agrees.
Yeah.
East. There we go. East. Yeast.
It does sound like you're saying yeast.
It does sound very much like I'm saying yeast. And it's not because Styx has become a drunkard now or anything.
Okay. So, who's doing what? Who's making what check and why to look for something?
I don't mind doing
Yeah, I'll let you.
Okay,
Go
I'll
first.
go first.
What?
So what skill are you using?
survival.
And what are you using survival for?
Actually,
So this is like similar to the skill challenge we did.
yeah.
Just the two of us. You've got to just come up with something, and you know
What would be tracking?
that would be like survival, looking for tracks and stuff like that.
20.
Okay, so you look east, and so also I'm going to put a clock on this in terms of these are very large areas you're looking through. It's not like just picking up a trail and following it to represent sort of the scale of the woods and things like that. Each area takes you an hour to cover. I'm going to say you're an early start, so it's 9 in the morning now. So moving through, you thoroughly investigate the area you're in. Arwen favouring the east side to begin with, and you do successfully find a number of tracks. And in fact, the thing that really ticks you off is as you venture over in that direction, you find a reasonably fresh kill. There's dry blood sort of splashed around in a few places, and it's sort of drying and browning. There's sort of maybe one pool that has a slightly reddish tint, but it's not quite got to the stage where it's dry and flaky yet. So you think it's reasonably fresh. And you head east.
Huh.
And what I'm hoping is... No, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Oh god, what? No. Is it on this layer? No. Ah, no. No, I can't. Why can't I? Oh, well. I'll have to do this way. So you guys move to the east. What I will do is to represent. So I'm just trying to think of a way to represent. I will. Does one of you want to draw a symbol
I'll draw.
in that square? So you
Go
can
for it.
draw on the map to mark. If you want to mark the square you're in now, 6B, as because that's where you picked up the trail.
Oh, okay.
I love it. Okay.
Bill.
Oh no.
So you've looked to the east and you have found success. You have found definitive signs that some sort of predator is here. Which direction would you like to move in next? You can look east again, which would cover C5 and 6, or you can look north and cover 5, A, B, and C.
I'm thinking north.
Yeah, I was thinking north. Get a bit more central.
Okay. Who's doing what?
Would someone else
Uh, Yeah, Arwen, do you want to take it away again? This is your area of expertise, per se. I'll give you guidance. Once again, me with my goddamn guidance. You can add a D
Can I do
to your
the
roll.
again?
Yeah, because you were successful, you can do the same thing. 23.
Oh,
Okay. And again, so another hour passes. you investigate, and this trail of blood is not so old that it's impossible to follow, but also it's not as numerous. It's not like there's a drag trail. It seems like whatever this thing was potentially attacked and then carried, which has left that initial sort of large pool, and then once it was maybe killed, it was picked up and moved. So there is a little bit of a trail for you to follow. And you make your way to the north.
Do I need to draw?
You can continue to mark where your successes are.
So in 5A.
5A, yes. And I now need to make a check of my own. Okay. Good to know. This one is now purple. It's a flower.
Oh, cute.
Okay, yeah. So you follow this trail for the time being, and it leads you in this northwesterly direction.
Okay. On the hunt.
Yeah. Who
Don't have
is?
much to,
You relying on Arwen again?
well, yeah, unless I can persuade something, which would use up a spell slot anyway. I'm not very useful here.
You can use, it doesn't have to be survival. You can use any other skill in any other way that you can think of.
Yeah, but charisma and strength is my good scores, JJ. That's the issue here.
Does Clary have anything? Good in the woods.
I think Clary has a good score.
Clary's got good intelligence, so she's good at investigation and things like that.
Oh,
If you've got any spells or abilities or anything that you think might be useful, anyone else can use them. Maybe think up something in case Arwen's abilities falter at some point,
yeah.
and you have to rely on.
I have an idea of that's a last resort type deal.
Okay. Arwen,
But don't waste
Hello.
or use up a spell.
sounds like you're up again. Oh,
Oh,
What's that about my abilities?
oh, oh.
which way are
That's
you
a real-
investigating? North or east?
Which way are we going?
We are going. We're now here.
Yeah.
We are investigating east.
Or north, it's up to you. Those are your two options. Well, you can investigate south, but you started there, so.
I'd say
east.
east.
I know this.
Just because I think it could make sense if it's maybe doing like a loop, or that it's heading somewhere central. And obviously, if we don't see anything there, well, then we know it's gone to the north one, don't we? Because we were just at south, we were just at southeast. So if we don't see anything in these two squares, then we somewhat know it's gone north, and can therefore pick up the trail there.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So you spend your time studying the easterly direction, and you don't find more signs of this trail to the east. However, in this square here, B4, you do find evidence of a number of hunting traps and things. You find a large amount, it seems like you get your tracks mixed up and you follow effectively the wrong trail. You follow what turns out to be, you suspect, an orc or a humanoid's trail in the end, and discover that in B4 there is where they seem to have set up a trap to attempt to capture these creatures in some way. They've got lots of sort of like quite large sort of nets and snares and things like that, designed to hold and restrain and what have you. But certainly due to your crit, which unfortunately in this doesn't give you many great advantages, means that you are able to spot and avoid these without too much, without any bother at all. And you can indeed ascertain that the only direction to go in this instance
Is north.
Is north. Oh no.
Are you taking a flower?
I'm trying not to, but because of the layer, it's not.
JJ, how dare you take
This is going terribly. This is
without asking?
This is going horribly. I'm going to put you up there for now. There we go. So you can indeed.
I expected more.
Because of your crit, ascertain that the only way to go is north, and you do still make progress in the right direction despite investigating the wrong one.
Nice.
I guess they're north from here. That seems obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Arwen, do your thing. Wait, can Hugo fly yet?
No.
Could you get him to fly and look around? Oh,
A little bit, yeah. He can fly.
Yeah, but he might fall.
He can fly, but he flies around, but it's a little bit more like flying lizard or something. That's more like what are they called? Are they like the flying squirrels type things? So he'll
glide.
He does a little bit more gliding than sort of taking off and soaring. He might sort of flap his wings and get up into a tree, and then he'd like jump and glide back down and that sort of thing.
That's so cute.
So he can. That is another way you could utilize it. You could utilize Hugo as a scout, provided you have ways and means of communicating with him, which you do, as he can communicate simple thoughts, emotions, and ideas with you.
I mean, I rolled terribly, so...
Yes. So another hour passes. Unfortunately, an 8 is a fail. So although you're investigating north, you're not able to ascertain exactly whether it's north or the northeasterly direction in which way to go. I'm going to say, despite Styx's idea to utilize Hugo, or Ben's idea to utilize Hugo, you can't do that, as that's more of an... I mean, I guess you could make a check, Styx, if you wanted to utilize Hugo in that way, to try and convey... Where's my mouse gone? It's over there. Try and convey what you wanted him to do.
I think I'm still a very, very babby dragon. I don't want to put him in too much danger flying place. So I think my plan here is, are there any animals in the area that I can see?
Probably not like see, like out in the open, as it were. But you could definitely, you will have, as you're traveling, you will have heard animals and things moving about, and potentially seen a few birds or rodents and things scurrying about. And there might not be anything in your immediate vicinity, but you could definitely find something.
Yeah, could I try and find a bird or a rodent or some such creature?
Yeah, just make well, you can make a survival check if you want, or you can make a straight investigation check.
I'll make a. I didn't realize I'm actually proficient in survival, so I'll make a survival check.
17. Yeah, you can easily find some birds. In fact, you find you spot a nest up in a tree, and you don't actually see a bird at first, and then you actually spot one that comes back and goes inside the nest, and then a second one, sort of almost like a minute later, you can see it's got this maybe like tuft of like feathers or fur or something that it's collected from the ground somewhere, lands on the edge and sort of tucks it. You can see it starts sort of like, how birds do, they sort of start trying to build a little bit more into the nest.
Okay, then I'm going to cast Speak with Animals on myself.
Okay. How does a tiny wee bird sound? Yeah. There's no check or anything to Speak with Animals, it just happens, doesn't it?
It just happens.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say hello. Don't be alarmed. I'm not gonna hurt you or anything. But
why is it I always assume you're friendly until you say you're not going to hurt something? And then you just, I don't know what it is.
pardon?
Sticks always seems like totally friendly, and then he's like, I'm not going to hurt you. And then I'm like, now he seems like a threat.
To be fair, I am a +4 strength guy with a long sword and a shield on my back and a crossbow, walking up the people fully armored. I imagine their first thought is, oh shit, he looks like a hunter or someone who could hurt me.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's just the fact that Sticks always seems like really jovial and friendly, and then it's until he adds the "I'm not going to hurt you" bit, then it's like, oh no, he's dangerous.
Also, pair that with the fact that we're walking around with Arwen, need I say more, Clary, who looks innocent enough, but then also a purple-skinned, heavily armoured paladin with curvy tiefling horns, and tiefling are literal devil people.
You racist.
Yeah. So we aren't the most approachable bunch. So I feel like I need to add it on every time I approach something.
No, that's fair. It's just a weird thing. Like, I always think of Styx as being this, very friendly and like jovial chap, and then he's like, then it's when he explicitly is like, I'm not dangerous. I'm like, oh yeah, he is pretty dangerous.
I'm not dangerous, but I will warn you, I haven't used any spells today, so be warned.
It's alright, you just use one, it's fine.
Hello, little bird. We're out here because apparently there is something very dark and very dangerous and evil killing people or harming them in the woods. Have you seen anything particularly monstrous or scary or dangerous recently?
This little bird just sort of hops up on the edge of its nest, looking down at you, and just goes, "Yeah, you want the snappy ones? Big teeth. Nice, nice, nice."
Okay. Do you know which way it went?
That way. And like points like with a wing, like giving flight directions. Like, your exits are here and here. Yeah, that way. Nice, nice, nice.
I have
Very warm.
What is your name, little bird?
Name?
Huh? Yeah. What is your name? I have a deal for you.
My name is Swiftwing. Yeah, they call me Swiftwing. Yeah, that's what they call me. Definitely.
Okay. I have a proposal. I have a deal. What do you like to eat? I have some rations. I don't know if they'd be any good for you to eat, but I'm sure I could, spare some crackers and
Yeah, we got
little bits and things like that. Potentially, yeah. I'll take the meat out. That's probably not very good for them to eat. And I was thinking, if I gave you some of this, maybe you could just. You don't have to get in harm's way or anything, but you could maybe just have a bit of a fly around this forest, and then come back to us in a little bit and tell us if you've seen the thing go anywhere.
Okay. I will offer you a choice, Ben. You can have this bird tell you exactly where to go next. And so they will essentially give you the next square on the grid you need to enter. Or they will fly off and you can, if you get stuck later on, you can call on them to give you a direction then. So it's basically like you can either use them now or you can wait for them to use them later.
Or what do we think, guys? Do we want to use them now or use them later? Because I don't know. I mean, didn't he just point in the direction it went, like with his wings?
Yeah, but do we know which way that is?
So I guess that's sort of like. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Then I guess. We'll take the one late. Could just take the one later.
Yeah.
Because I feel like. Also, he said big snappy thing. Big teeth.
Big teeth. Nash, nash, nash.
Nash, nash, nash. Just one head, just one set of teeth. Any wings? Could it fly?
No fly. So Swiftwing safe up here. Many head. Lots of heads.
Lots of heads. Was it big? Bigger than me?
Yes. You small.
Shit. Guys! Are we fighting a Hydra? Or something along those lines? Would I know what they are?
Fluffy.
Would Sticks... I'm sorry. Would Sticks know what
the
that is?
information you've got is that there are lots of heads, sharp teeth, and furry so far.
It is fluffy.
Oh, never mind. Not a Hydra then. Okay. Should we take the banked one for later?
Yeah.
Because we know what direction we need to go in right now. And obviously, if it's not the one that's ahead of us, it's going to be the one that's on the right. And either way, we're sort of... we've got a lot of options.
Yeah, so that is one thing you can always do. If you get stuck, you can always just pick a direction and go, and then make another check in that square. So if you wanted to just go north now, you could, and then you can investigate east, or you can go diagonally northeast and investigate from there, and you just take effectively pot luck as to where you're going.
Okay. Cool. Well, I think we'll take the one for later then. Thank you very much. What was it, Swiftling?
Swiftwing.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you want to fly around the area, come find us if you see anything. We'll call on you or something. You've been a very, very nice. You're a very nice bird. Birds are very nice, guys. So, you know, they sound kind of funny. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'll just north.
You're going to head directly north or north east?
What are we thinking?
3B, B3, or whatever it's
Yeah, 3B.
Northeast. Okay, so you head to this square. You haven't managed to ascertain whether or not this is exactly the direction you need to go in. Which direction are you investigating from here? Again, you've got north and east would be your sort of key directions, having ascertained most of what's to your south. You could investigate south because there is one square to your south that you don't know. But obviously, you'd probably be better off picking
I'm thinking
one of the other ones.
East.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking east. I reckon it's going to go a little more in.
Okay.
Big thing. Probably gone quite deep into the.
Okay. Who's
Right.
going to? Arwen, you're still currently out of survival. While we need, because you've effectively used that and failed, so everyone else sort of needs to come in and be part of this to make it like a group activity. And you've banked that success for later. Oh, we've lost the camera. Oh.
Hello. Wi-Fi's been a bit dodgy here, so if we cut out, I apologise.
I don't really hear what I'm saying, but Arwen is currently she's not able to make this check because you haven't had a success since her failure, because you've banked your success for the future sticks. So you can still do something, and Neo and Clary can both do things. I think they've frozen, but I will remind you that Neo is proficient in athletics, insight, intimidation, and persuasion. So not great. Again, he's a paladin, so he excels in both strength and charisma-based things.
I'll go with. Can I try survival? I got +3.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely try a survival check. Which direction are you guys going?
East.
East.
It was.
Okay, so you investigate east, and it seems like this sort of blood trail that Arwen was initially following has dried up, and Styx is the one who comes across a set of tracks, maybe realizing that you're quite close to this set of traps that you've sort of skirted around. You kind of tap into that sort of knowledge pool and think, well, if maybe there was maybe they tracked them to here, so they'll be around here, and you do manage to pick up a set of paw prints. They are of varying sizes. There's some very large ones, and then some more ordinary sized paw prints, and they lead you in this direction. And you pick up the trail again.
Perfect. This thing's obviously gone around those guys. Okay. Cool. Onwards and upwards.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to take it away again. With your, what was it, like +7 to survival? Oh no, +5. Still, better than +3 or 1.
Okay. Which direction are you guys heading in again? 23, massive.
Ooh. What direction are we heading in from now? I was thinking east. What are you thinking?
Oh, I need to. Oh, sorry. I just need to make a check for that because you moved twice. So double checks. Both of them 2s. Okay. Both failures. Right. So you're moving east again.
I don't know. What's it on?
Maybe because I'm kind of in the middle.
Sorry, Clara, you cut out for a second. What did you say?
I think maybe north might be better because then we're a bit more in the centre. Kind of in the centre. Actually.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
check.
Yeah.
So north will cover B3, C3, and D3. You didn't find, like, you moved to B3 randomly because you couldn't find any signs. You may be able to confirm that there was something there that you missed, or you may be able to pick up something else in a different space if you go north, which both could be useful, or you can go east and maybe pick up more of the trail there if they went that way.
I personally think east because we obviously know there's nothing north because we were just at B3. We would have picked something up at C3 looking east from where we were, and now we're here, and so if we look east we're going to get that D3 anyway.
Yeah.
And we're going to get something that's potentially south as well. So I figure it's probably best to go east.
Okay.
East to the Eastlands.
Okay, so that was at 23, wasn't it? Yeah, so you do indeed pick up the trail to the east. And in fact, you pick up a double success here where you can track them. Oh no, don't do that. It's going to move your star. Again, if I do this. No, wait. Oh no, this is. Look what you've done.
Me?
Yeah, you. It's because you put your star on top of the tokens.
I was just helping.
Yes, your help is the bane of my life. So you managed to successfully track them to the east, directly east, and also picking up their trail diagonally as well. So you pick up this double success. You manage to track them quickly. Through 2 squares. So the one to the one you're in and the one just below you are both on the route. Styx, having pointed out these paw prints to you, and having picked up the signs of them, you are able to track them relatively quickly and make quick progress through. Where would you like to go from here? And who's going to be?
What here we could literally go anywhere. North?
Yeah. That's what I think.
Yeah, north seems like a pretty good shout. North, alright. Yeah. North.
Who's doing the check?
I can give it a go if you want me to, but obviously you've got better sort of scores and that sort of thing. So, all I've got is really good athletics. I can't really think of a way.
Swinging
Athletics
off
could
the
be
tree.
big. Even if I climbed up a tree, I wouldn't be able to I'd be able to see something. Yeah, so I will leave it to you.
You can utilize skills in that sort of way. You could, climb up a tree to sort of survey the lay of the land, where things are going. Maybe you get a sense. You can use skills in that way.
Yeah, I just kind of figured, obviously, if I'm climbing up a tree, surely I'd have to make a check anyway to see what I can see from the top of the tree.
Yes, but it might give you advantage or something like that. Yeah, if you.
That's good. That's a very good point. No, I will leave it to you, Arwen, if you wanted to roll another survival. Otherwise, yeah, happy to climb a tree. Or persuade a tree, maybe. Persuade a tree.
I don't mind. You can do it.
Oh, fuck it, I've said it now, and I kind of want to see how I do. See, I'm going to climb a tree and see from the tippy top. Boom. Tree.
To find a good solid climbing tree. Neo or
Jimmy
Clary or
Sweet.
someone gives you a nice boost to get you into the lower branches, and then you're able to nimbly work your way up, lifting yourself up these branches.
Boom. Climb in a tree. Climb in a tree. A weird mood.
So yeah, if
what
you
do I
want to make a check from up in the tree from your vantage point.
Yeah, I guess perception or whatever. I really need to get a bonus in that wisdom or intelligence or something. Maybe perception. Please have advantage. That's embarrassing.
I did say you had advantage, yeah, because of your successful tree climbing. So that's a 19. Yeah. So away in the distance to the north, maybe it's the angle or something like that, but you spot a number of shiny metal objects to the northeast, and you sorry, not the northeast, the northwest, and you correctly guess that in that direction lies another set of traps to the northwest. So that would be square C2. And that maybe following that direction would be good to head north, but not to head directly to the northwest, and that heading sort of straight north would be better, because if there's traps about, then you're probably heading in the right direction where there are large number of animal traffic has been noted before.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. So just straight north then, I guess, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, let's go.
So yeah.
What is that? That's just some weird patterning now.
What is going on there? No. No, 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 no. Yes, and you can also draw a lovely pretty picture in the one to yourself if you want as well to mark that as a success. And as you move on, I will make another check for these guys. They are doing shit.
What the people were trying to save? So they were dying.
I'm not telling you what the checks are.
Good is actually rolling for the rest of the world. They're doing shit.
Yes, while you're in this forest, time slows, years pass. You are lost to the woods. All your friends and loved ones age and die and wither to dust. Sorry, that got a bit dark.
I was going to make a joke about how Kavran ran out of petrol. Everyone thought Kavran was running out of petrol. It's actually because they didn't have any cart drivers to deliver the petrol. But no, JJ, the world ended. Fantastic.
Anyway, moving swiftly on. Who would like to helm the next check, and what would you like to do? And where would you like to go?
Where should we go? Well, it's obviously not that way, but maybe.
I'm thinking look east. Maybe.
Yeah, sounds good. Obviously, it's not going to go the direction of the traps. That does make sense. Yes, look east. Would you like to do the honors this time?
Me? Okay. Someone else have a go. Where's that dice?
So you are searching, and unfortunately you seem to have headed to a more rocky area. There, you've come quite close to a stream, and it seems in the sort of harder ground close to the stream you have lost the exact direction of these trails, and these footprints are in. If you, as you say, you have a bird point to cash in if you wish.
Yeah, I'm thinking we call it buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, so a number of hours have passed. Speak with Animals has worn off. However, the friendly bird does return, and you with your astuteness for wildlife, you do recognise it as the same bird, and it lands quite tamely in front of you, and sort of starts hopping up and down and chirping, and then when you don't speak back, it sort of starts hopping more like frustratedly and like sort of flying, like sort of flapping and like trying to like point its head in a direction, and it does give you a good sense of the way to go, but this bird literally seems hopping mad that you now won't speak to it.
I'll cast Speak with Animals again,
vibrating,
and I will.
Oh no. He's burning spell slots the way Styx does.
Yeah, I'll cast Speak with Animals again. And I'll say, hey, what's... Calm yourself, Shivering. What's going on?
Snappy, Nashes, close, that way.
Close, that way. Gotcha. We'll take care of it. Go be with your family in your nest or whatever. Thank you very much. Here, and I'll go into my pack and I'll take out some rations and take out what I think a bird might like and just sort of hold them up.
Like nuts
But here you
and
go.
things like that within your rations and so forth. Obviously, a bird can't
whatnot.
carry stuff, so when you sort of hold these out in your hand, it does spend some time just sort of almost like scarfing down everything it can really quickly before heeding your advice and flying away. You guys are able to move one step closer.
I'm gonna miss that, buddy.
Another hour passes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's the...
That.
I've rolled 4 checks in a row, and it's been 2, 2, 3, 2 on the dice. So. But yeah,
Ouch. That's what I'm gonna say.
A number of hours have passed. You can tell from sort of just your perceptions of time passing and things like that that it is mid-afternoon now, sort of early to mid-afternoon sun. Fortunately, you've kept a pretty direct route following this track, so it's not too close to night just yet. So there's still a good quantity of light about to keep guiding you.
So which way did he tell us to go? Which square did he tell us to
So you were in D2, so I've moved you to E2, the one he directed you to.
Right, yeah.
So you can tick off D2 as
That's cool.
part of the pathway.
Yeah, drawn. And I guess from here... I want to say either east or south again.
Well, if we go east, we can get one south at least.
Yeah, we can get one south and one north. Because I was also thinking, like, what if it's just headed up to the opposite end? Or sort of deepest in. So, yeah, if we just go east again, I'm sure we'll come up with something.
Okay.
We'll give survival a go.
67 survival.
Could be
17.
Hey, it's not bad.
There you go. So, Sticks, you're leading the way at this point, guided by your bird friend's directions. You head off and start looking for signs of a trail, tracks, things like that, trying to pick up the path again. And you're walking along, kind of pushing your way through this sort of thick undergrowth in places. And when you put your foot down at one point, and you just realise that as you put your foot down, you just nudge something, and it just sort of rolls over and rolls away a few feet before it sort of bumps softly into a root. Dislodged from the undergrowth, the whiteness of it catches your eyes, and you realise that you've just dislodged a bone that has just sort of tumbled away as you've accidentally kicked it. It's not made, a significant amount of noise, so you don't think you'll have alerted anything nearby or anything like that, but it has drawn your attention. And as you pause and scan the ground in front of you, you can see that many, many more bones litter the floor. I'll move you into the final square, as you seem to have discovered some sort of kill box, killing ground.
Which one's the
territory.
bone one?
Pardon?
Which one's the bone one?
I've moved you into the bone one. and you can see
Can I pick up the bow?
the remnants of various animal carcasses. You can see some of them are old bones that have been crunched, and like femurs, animal femurs and stuff like that have been like cracked open by powerful jaws for the marrow inside. And then you can see more intact skeletons, where the bones and where the meat have been stripped off the bones and things like that, and some that are still rotting slightly and have the sense of decay now catches the air. And a ways in the distance, it seems, somehow still unaware of your presence because they've rolled just so terribly, is a large number of wolves you can see. Most of them seem to be either resting or sleeping, lying on the ground. They do not seem to have been alerted to your presence just yet.
Okay. I have an idea. And what does that do? Okay, never mind. That might be as good as I thought. I guess we just sort of get the jump on them. I guess these are the things that were attacking. So, yeah, get the jump on them. Take them out, I guess. I mean, how many wolves are we talking here?
You can see 4 at the moment.
See 4 at the moment. Yeah, I guess if we get the jump on these guys real quick, in a quick surprise round, we can maybe then prepare ourselves for any more. There's got to be more than 4 wolves in this pack, right?
I don't think the bad thing is a wolf.
Oh, of course, many heads. Ew. Then we probably want to take these guys out pretty quietly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, but that's what I'm guessing.
Well, I'm thinking these ones are the ones that are sort of waiting outside, waiting outside the lair, like as a sort of watch. I guess wolves are somewhat smart, so I guess if we can take these guys out very, very quickly and efficiently, we can maybe move closer to being disturbed.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to move up, everyone make a stealth check.
Yes. Can I cast guidance on thingy
On Neo.
to give him a bit of help, because
Sure.
he always seems. I should be like,
With guidance, Neo rolls a 23.
there we go. See, Neo, he just needed that little push, and watch me fail.
12.
Yeah, that was a bit of a fail.
Okay.
Better than all.
So 2 successes and 2 failures.
Clary has 9 steps.
It's
Yeah.
over.
That's
Clary is like a shadow moving over the ground. Like Styx is picking his way quite carefully through it, and all of a sudden, soundlessly, this just figure just moves past him as the silent form of Clary, making no noise over the ground. Unfortunately, that is 2 successes and 2 failures. And as you're getting close, you do see one of them sort of lifts its head and starts sniffing the air, and then sort of starts growling and looking around. Doesn't seem to have located you, but is now alert. So you won't get surprise on them. But yeah, I think that is probably the best point to roll some initiative.
Initiative 12.
Okay. Dex. Oh my god.
Oh, this is very good at it.
Oh my god.
20, 21, and 22.
Where are all my d20s?
Damn, boy, that's a.
That'll be that. We've got
I mean, not in that order.
Yeah.
2. Larry at 21. Arwen at 20. And we've got what's Neo's? Okay. So we've got what's your dex mod? Is that so you're going on a 17. Neo on a 15. Oh bollocks! I misread that roll. So they are going. They're going on an 18. Everyone's rolling really well. Oh, Neo is last, as is his wont. And then Neo on a 15. Neo is last with a 15. That is rubbish. Neo's last with a 15.
Oh.
Which really sucks for him. Because the 15 is a good roll, but...
But yeah, for Neo, oh Jesus.
Well. Well, as one of these things kind of catches a scent on the air, or maybe hears the unnatural sound of a clink of armor or something like that, Styx, you spot it becoming aware of you and react quickest. What do you do?
Oh, I'm not next to any of them right now.
No,
No.
what I should do, now that we have rolled initiative, is drop you onto the map. And get all you guys to place yourselves down the bottom here.
Oh, there's one very big wolf. And a bunch of slightly smaller wolves. Chunk.
And Neo. I'll keep feeling I'm responsible for that one. And Clary, well.
Look at that.
You guys are right the way down here. So it's from about this position that you manage to sneak up to and they become aware and you start rushing in Styx.
Okay, so if I were to...
In that square there.
5, 10, 20, 30. Now, I can't get up to them in one turn. But I can piss them off a little. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, and I'm going to pull out the old heavy crossbow,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna have a go at this one here.
Okay. What I'm going to do is, as is my want, some coloured dots to identify my bad guys.
Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that because that's wasting spell slots. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So shit.
A 10 doesn't hit, unfortunately. You pull out. Even if I were to give you advantage from your nat 20 on initiative, the 12 doesn't help you.
Then I goddamn well fire again, my boy.
You whip out the. Can you do that with a crossbow?
Oh shit! No, you can't. It's loading.
Crossbow.
It's gone loading.
So unfortunately, you only get the one shot.
Bastard.
Hey, whatever you want to name your crossbow. So yes, you rush forwards, and in your haste to get up, you realise you're probably not going to get to them in time. So you try and whip up this crossbow and hurry your shot a little bit, and this bolt just flies overhead and disappears off with a whistle through the trees.
Damn it.
Anything else? Bonus actions, more movement.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I have anything else to do as a bonus action, so I think I'm good.
Okay. We go to Clary.
Which one were you attacking?
I was attacking this one, but I missed.
Oh, okay. I've forgotten everything about combat. Do I need to be for stealth attacks? Do I need someone near me or near the target?
Near the target.
Yes, if you want to use sneak attack, then you need an ally within 5 feet or advantage on the roll.
Within 5 feet of me or of the target?
Of the target, sorry.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Just someone within 5 feet.
I just think that doesn't make sense. But
You've just got a cheerleader. Go on, Clary. Although that will probably make the attack less sneaky, if anything.
Yeah. Then it's
to get the pom-poms.
Y'all gonna be screwed when Styx pulls out the pom-poms. Firebolt.
At the red one.
Okay, go for it. 13 just hits.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But yeah, you quickly dash to the side, conjuring this fiery energy in your hand and throwing it out, and it whips, and you see this sort of, you hear the sort of the sizzle of flesh, and there's a little yelp as it makes contact, and you see this sort of burned flesh start to sort of creep across the shoulder of the wolf as it gets to its feet and starts to move. Anything else in your turn, Clary?
That's my turn.
Okay. Next is Arwen. Okay. Dash up to there. Well, not dash, but run up to there.
Am I in cover?
Yeah, you could say that was cover there. Cover only really makes a difference if you're trying to hide or from ranged attacks.
Yes. Both.
Okay. if you want to hide, it's an action to like physically try and hide.
Oh.
Unless you're a rogue who can hide as a bonus action.
No, I'm just gonna be behind the bush.
Okay.
Oh, to the green one.
The green one, 23 hits.
Ooh.
The old thorn whip. So you,
I don't want to pull it closer.
okay.
I just want to.
So you say the magic words and this magical thorny whip lashes out and strikes. Can you do that from there? 5,
Yeah,
10,
30.
20, 25. I think you need to be 5 feet closer,
Oh, well, there.
but that's fine. But yeah, and right on the end of this whip, it just reaches out and there's just this sort of snap as the end cracks and these thorny vines lash the side of this big wolf.
Can I hold something with it? Or is it just hit it?
What's the wording of thorn whip? A long vine-like whip covered in thorns that lashes out at your command towards a creature in range. Make a melee spell attack against the target. If the attack hits, the creature takes 1d6 piercing damage, and if the creature is large or small, how have you rolled 7 on 1d6?
Dunno.
Oh, sorry. At higher levels, this increases by 1d6, so that should be 2d6. Which, yes, that has rolled 2d6. That explains it. Because it's a cantrip. That's how cantrips work, Jojo. They scale with your level. Excellent.
So no, they can't hold. things.
No, you can't use it to like grapple something. I think it's more like a because you're like conjuring this whip that it effectively fades at the end of your turn.
But if it can drag something closer, then can't it surely?
So the way from the wording that I'm assuming it works, is you conjure this whip out of nothing because it's a magical spell. You use it to whip, and then at the end of your turn, it fades.
Okay.
If it was a concentration spell, and you gave yourself a magical whip as a weapon for the duration, then yes, I'd say you could grab and hold. But I think it's just whip, and then it vanishes.
Fair enough. Cool.
Anything else on your turn? Okay. That brings us to the end of your guys' turn. Now we have these guys who are going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 5, 10, 15, 20, 35, 40, 45, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
And
So,
no one's being attacked.
red. Okay, so Styx is a natural 1 to hit you. Arwen, that is a 22 to hit you, and Clariet's an 18 to hit you.
That hits.
Okay.
Oh,
Not too bad for you, Clary. You only take 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
Arwen, you take 19 piercing
Of course
damage.
I do. I was about to say, I bet it'll be something like 18 or something. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, how are you taking 19 piercing damage?
Yeah.
Did you get crit?
No.
You're out to get me. What have I done?
Oh, guys, we're fucked. We could die.
These walls ain't fucking
I hate to
around.
say it, but we are going to die.
That was a high roll though. That was a 10 on one of the d10.
I thought you said that wasn't
Okay.
a high roll.
And that was a high roll, yeah. It was a 10 on one of the d10.
That's scary.
He is.
Yes.
For a man with only 31 hit points, that is terrifying.
The large wolf, this bigger, more powerful wolf, and it seems to emanate this aura, and it fixes you with a stare sticks. Can you make a wisdom save for me?
Oh, you sucker. I'm actually efficient in these, so let's go.
Okay.
Yes, God damn, yes I can.
Although you feel it trying to intimidate you and frighten you, you steel yourself and stiffen your resolve and push those fears that are creeping in out of your mind, and you stand firm. You are not frightened.
Fuck yeah, I'm not right.
And it's going to stay where it is for now. And Neo will have a turn. Where can he get to? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So he can get up to here and flank. He's gonna hit. That will hit. And that will hit. So he does. Okay, so he nips around and runs in to aid Clary and comes up behind this wolf where it's trying to claw and bite at her, and deals this cut to its hindquarters, and you can see it sort of raises its leg off the ground, sort of limping slightly as blood starts sheeting down the side of its leg. Neo, across his 2 attacks, Neo does 20 damage as he lands both attacks and is in a position to aid Clary. That's everything he's going to do on his turn. I don't believe he's got many bonus actions. That's an action. And well, that's a bonus action, actually. I'll do that. Okay, sorry, yeah, so we'll go back to sticks at the
All right.
round. I think we'll probably do one more round and then call it.
Yeah, sounds good. Ooh, okay, what can I do? What do I want to do? Do I burn HP against this thing? Kinda do. But, ooh, okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm sure I can. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Ooh! Oh, I am going to be a clever little bitch. I'm just looking at this wolf after it's failed to hit me, and I'm just going to go, bye-bye. And I'm going to Misty Step to here. Pump. To gain advantage on attacks. Arwen work together a little bit.
Go for it.
And I'm going to whack him with Sword of Stricter.
21 hits.
Good. One-handed, because I now have my shield out.
Well, it does not matter, but yes, one-handed.
Doesn't matter. And I'll attack it again.
21 again. Does hit.
Damn it.
Again, so total of 17 damage. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
Yes, actually. That's not a total of 17 damage, JJ. God damn it! That's a total of 19 damage. Oh my god, that's so terrible. Thank God.
Is that your god giving you flipping you the literal bird with 2 ones there?
You know what? I think it might be.
You were so nice to that bird.
I was really nice to that bird. Yeah. Whatever. Fine. Did 100 damage to this wolf though. So there you go. And it gave someone advantage.
Yeah. Clary?
That is my...
Oh, is it my game?
Yeah.
It is.
On Styx's turn. It's your turn, Clary.
I can sneak attack now, can't I? Because
Yeah, if you hit, you can sneak
You
attack
can.
because you've got an ally within 5 feet of the
It's fine.
target. So you need to roll to hit
I was
first.
going to do this. I roll my
Yeah, so if you roll to hit, you have advantage to hit because of flanking with Neo. So yeah, 17 does definitely hit. And then you roll your sword damage and your sneak attack damage. Whoa. Excellent. Excellent. With the advantage of Neo, you are able to fully utilize your roguish ways. Something you've not had a huge amount of opportunity to do yet. And you deal 19 damage. That's great to this one.
Still alive?
As it gets, almost simultaneously as it gets cut from behind by Neo, Clary comes in and delivers this powerful thrust, almost on the same point it was burned. He burned it before. And that is, I need to do maths, hold on. Yeah, it's not like him being alive, but it is still alive.
My word. Well, guys, we're screwed. But it's fine, because we might be not screwed.
Arwen. If that's everything on your turn, Clary, you still have a bonus action in your movement, I believe.
yeah, sorry. Yeah.
It's alright, just
Again, on the clock, you multiple.
Arwen.
I'm going to do something that's going to be very stupid, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Wait, is it an animal?
Advantage and for this, yeah, that's fine. Actually, could be. Yeah.
Cast Speak with
Wait,
Animals.
is it an animal?
Certainly looks like an animal, yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I find your answer vague and confusing.
I mean, it's a wolf.
Right.
From everything you've seen, it looks and acts like a wolf. This big one had an intimidating presence, but that was, you could potentially infer due just down to its colossal size.
Oh god.
You
Okay.
can try and, well, you can cast Speak with Animals.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Okay, you cast Speak with Animals. Does Speak with Animals allow you to speak with every animal? Or does it...
It mentions beast.
I mean, does it just Speak with Animals allows you just to speak with everything you come across for the duration, doesn't it? It's not, you don't have to cast it on an animal.
It says beasts. Plural.
Beasts, plural. I'm just looking it up.
Yes, the animals, as far as I'm aware,
You just
is
cast it and then
you gain the ability to communicate with beasts for the duration.
yes. Okay. And that's not a concentrate. So for this entire battle, effectively, you're going to be able to understand what these wolves are saying.
Oh, you.
Talk every single time.
Okay. So that's your action.
Am I allowed to talk?
Yeah, talking
Oh my god.
is a free action. You have
Okay.
about 6 seconds to say something because that's what the length of a round would be. So you cast
Okay.
a spell and then you can quickly say a few sentences.
That one in front of me.
The one right in front of you,
Yeah.
between you and Styx,
Mhm.
that you've fawn whipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh shit. Okay. I'm gonna ask it. I'm gonna say, I don't want to hurt you any more than has already happened. Did you eat some people? And if, like, we'll leave you alone if you just answer the question.
You may not want to eat me, but I'm going to eat you. I'm going to eat your feet first. Yeah, people are delicious.
But did you eat the people?
People, yum yum yum.
Do you know anything with multiple heads?
People, yum yum.
No, a fluffy thing. And don't say people.
It's not fluffy.
Right, fluffy thing with multiple heads, big gnashing teeth.
That's all you get in 6 seconds.
I punch her in the face.
Good job, guys.
You use your action, unfortunately, to cast Speak with Animals.
Is
You
speak
have
with
a-
animals an attack?
No! You have a bonus action and
If
your
I
movement left.
attack it with my words.
No. Unless you have the cantrip Vicious Mockery, then you can attack it with your words.
Damn it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna stay here.
Okay.
Because Styx will want to hit it.
Okay.
And it's gonna hit me.
You go to the wolves.
He's gonna eat my feet.
Yes. However,
Eat your feet.
Styx did hit it more. So I think the green one is going to go for Styx. The red one's been Clary, pick odds or evens. Clary?
We cut out there for a second. What did you say?
Oh, I said Clary, pick odds or evens. Just to determine
Oh,
who the red one's.
Odds.
Odds. It's evens. It's going for Neo. Just because both you and Neo have cut up the red one, so it's equally likely to go for both of you, and the blue one's going to go for Neo as well, because it can move over here.
Oh, poor Neo.
So that's red, that's blue, and that's green. So it's a natural 1 on Styx. I think that's 2 natural 1s against Styx in a row.
And I'm liking it.
Styx is leading a charmed life. Maybe it's Arwen's conversation has distracted this thing. And then there's going to be 2 misses as they rolled a 3 and a 5 against Neo. However, Arwen, can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
Bloody hell. I'm already in fear.
You are frightened.
That's the one. I already
What?
was.
You bloody.
Yes, you are
Lightning
frightened
bag.
of the gargantuan wolf. Which means, I always forget what frightened can do. Frightened. The frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. And the creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear.
Say the first part again.
You have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, while the source of your fear is within line of sight.
So if I duck behind this bush, I'll be fine.
Potentially.
If I put a leaf in front of my eyes.
You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns.
Okay.
And then it is also going to, you actually hear it. The others of you would just hear a growl, but you would hear this deep voice. Fool, kill. And the wolf is going to make another attack against you, Styx. Cocked. That is a 17 to hit you this time.
17, I believe. It's my AC with my shield is 17, so yeah, that hits.
Yeah, that hits. So that is
Sorry.
that is max damage on this attack. So 12 damage.
Ah,
This is
that's
a
not
slightly
that's-
different attack. This is the claw attack instead of the bite.
right.
And then we go to
Or-
Neo, who has.
If it does its bite attack and gets decent damage, I'm dead.
So Neo has advantage to hit. He hits the first one. So let's see how much damage that does. Oh fucking hell, Neo, you're shit. And then he hits the second one. Oh Neo, why do you suck? So that is 11 damage on both his attacks this time, which is enough to kill it. He takes one off the board. This red wolf
Oh, there we are.
being slashed at from both sides, blood shooting down from its various wounds, or moving more slowly as it limps about. Just can't move quick enough to avoid this powerful strike from the glaive that just carves down through its midsection, splitting bone and spilling blood all over the floor. On that note, we reach the end of the round, and I think that's a good place to call it, as it is 11:15.
It is, yes. That's probably a good time to call it. Well, thank you very much, JJ. It was a fantastic session.
Right?
I like that mini game.
Yeah.
A little.
I really liked it when I saw the idea, and so I made my own sort of little adjustments to it. My apologies mainly to you, Clary, as it potentially doesn't suit your skill set that well. So
It's okay.
I think that is the thing.
maybe
Yeah,
not
like-
as engaging for you.
I think, especially with stuff that includes things like nature and things like that, like a lot of people aren't geared towards that.
Yeah.
And if you have that sort of character that's geared towards it, you're somewhat useless. Well, maybe not useless, but less useful.
Yeah, it's harder because obviously if you're, as you say, if you have that wisdom and that survival stat, then
Yeah.
it's very easy to go, oh, I just make a survival check to find tracks or what have you. If you
Yeah.
don't, it is more difficult, which I will try and consider when coming up with these things in future to hopefully allow everyone a reasonable chance at coming up with something interesting that they can do to help.
Then again, I think it obviously really worked for Arwen, so I think you could make the argument that obviously this shows sort of the party cohesion, I guess.
Yeah.
Was it good at one? Some good at others, like one we were sneaking up on. We got +9 and shit like that. So
Yeah.
Uh,
I will
Everyone's got that thing.
Yeah, as you say, everyone's got a thing. I will try to just bear those in mind. So if potentially someone's going to miss out, then I will try and factor them in later. That bring everyone to the light, as it were, at various points. Yeah, a good session. I'm glad you all enjoyed. Although we're probably back at it quite quickly as we skipped from Friday to Tuesday. If that suits everyone anyway.
Yes.